Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Welcome back, John Megacycle here. An episode of Imperialism. This game is old. Oh god, this is an old PC game. I don't even know how to figure out in-game when it was made. Nothing. No. Okay, so here's Imperialism. I got this on good old games, or GOG.com. They've got it all working and everything. The game is exactly as I remember it. It's built the way I remember it. It still is a little iffy in later terms of the game, but a few months ago I was able to actually beat it. And this is not a game for the faint of heart. This game, I guess I could really relate to newer titles like Europa Universalis, but a lot less complex. There was an Imperialism 1 and Imperialism 2. These are both turn-based strategy games where you are an emerging empire in like a European continent setting, and you're trying to become the prime minister of everything. I guess that's the way we'll say it. We're going to go ahead and get a game started. That is not my country name. That's my country name. So, let's take a look. Here, we select a country, whichever one we want. Every country has a color, a coat of arms, and that's like it. There's nothing specifically different. You can play the actual fixed game, or no, what is it? You can play the actual name where like this is England, France, Germany, Switzerland, whatever, and they have all European names. I like just whatever. We're going to set it to easy because I've never been able to beat it on normal because holy crap. Clicking on the globe generates a new map. I always like to go red. There's a couple things I'm looking for when I'm doing map generation. For the first bits, we want to make sure that we have some unoccupied territories next to our nation. That's the first thing. That's going to allow us to expand either in a military fashion or a diplomatic fashion to gain more resources. The second thing is I need to make sure that whomever I'm neighboring, that I'm not neighboring a ton of people. Let's see if I can generate a map that I don't want. That one's not too great for me. That one's not too great. This one's also not good because I'm isolated completely. This one's not a bad start. We can be particular all day about it. I just want something that's going to give us a fair fight, so to speak. Oh, that looks really good, actually. No real neighbors, plenty of expanding resources, hopefully. We won't know until the game gets started. So, I've chosen the map, I've chosen who I want to be. I'm usually red. I think red is usually England. I think they just give it to whatever. I just like red, whatever. Name my country Megacycle, easy difficulty. Let's start this thing. Alright, at the beginning of every turn, we get the Imperial Times. This says anything that's interesting that's going on in the world. If someone declares war on someone else, if peace treaties, trade differences, I guess there's going to be a bunch of stuff that's going to show up in here. Oh, new research as well, that's going to show up in here. The stuff that's in bold, like here, new ruler proclaimed, that's the stuff we care about. Upheaval in governmental ministries, that's what we care about. Pulley block decreases costs. It doesn't, none of this stuff means anything. So it's just the bold stuff we care about. And the date. So we're going to skip. Next. Okay, so this is the main world map that we have at our disposal. All these tiles produce a set amount of resources. I just want to take a quick gander before we go on. This is going to be a little tricky, but it'll do. Yeah, it'll do fine. So, every tile here does and serves some purpose, or maybe not. So let's go through it. These are just grassland tiles. They do nothing. They do nothing at all. This is livestock or cattle ranching. They provide meat. Apple orchards provide fruit. Wheat farms provide wheat. I think you get it. Cotton fields for cotton, we'll turn that into textiles. Horse farming? What's a place you have a bunch of horses? Horse farm? A horse ranchery? A horse ranchery. Cattle again. Sheep, again for textile. Trees for lumber. These are forests that are non-upgradable. We'll deal with upgrading stuff later. These are hills and mountains, which we use our prospector to figure out if there's any mineable materials there. What else is there? Anything? Oh, these are upgradable forests. These are the desired ones. So we've got a few of that, so I'm happy with that. And then we have the bounty of the ocean. Other tiles later on, like these swamps, have the potential of turning into oil tiles, as do desert tiles. Let's see. Can I find a quick desert here? This game is old, so scrolling's kind of funny. Let's just do it by the mini. There, some desert. There's a potential for oil to be there later on. So what we're kind of going through is the age of imperialism, the age of industrialization. So we've got our units on the main map. I'm going to set my prospector to go ahead and check out, see if there's any minerals in that hill. For my engineer, I want to get my lumber industry going pretty much as soon as possible. So I'm going to come down here, building a railroad down here, and I'm going to build a depot to start harvesting resources. That's kind of how that works. All right. So there's that. I've kind of explained the main map. Zoom, if we want, shows our fine Megacycle nation. And investing in technology, we have very basic technology to start the game with. As the game progresses, new technology comes available, and then we pay for it, and then it's done. Very straightforward process in terms of research. Game controls and help, we don't need any of that crap. These are the four menus we're going to need to pay the most attention to. They're white backed, which means we have not checked them yet. So give transportation order. This is our transportation network. These are all the things we can import. Everything's grayed out because we don't have anything. We just have these three commodities. Meats are combined, fish and livestock, fruit and grain. So that's the three major food groups for this game. Down here we have combined shipping and rail car. This is our total transportation network. We have 10 of 5 in use. So do the math, add this up, that's 10, we have 15, so we have 5 more. Call them rail cars, boats, whatever you want to call them. That's what we have. Industry. We're also going to be here quite a bit. This is our industrial orders screen. This is actually like our capital, where we do all our production and everything. So the way in which this game operates is all of the raw materials are shipped to our capital city. It is then processed, consumed, sold, used, whatever, there. So that's an important thing to note. You're not building individual decentralized distribution and manufactured networks. It all comes back to here. So the main way to starve someone off is to shut down and blockade their capital. But that's military stuff. We're not going to go there yet. Each of these buildings serve a function and a purpose. Let's just go through them real quickly. Food processing. Everything in here has a formula. It's a very simple visual way to figure out what you can do. So some amount of manpower or labor, some amount of grain, of fruit, of livestock turns into 2 cans. So 2 labor, 2 wheat, a fruit, 1 of each of these, or, well, 1 of these is what I should say, turns into 2 cans. So this makes it a very easy way to see visually what you're making. Yeah, the game does a very good job of that. So why would you turn this stuff into canned goods? It allows you to sell food. You can't sell these things individually. You can sell cans though, and it just makes it easier to pay attention to. So there's that. We have our warehouse, which has all of our products that we start the game off with. It's all grouped also by product family, which is really cool. So we have cotton and wool, which turns into fabric, which turns into clothing. So that's its one. You see it's kind of divided here. We have then timber, which turned into lumber or paper, and then lumber is then turned into furniture. Same thing here. Iron and coal turned to steel. Steel can be turned into hardware or arms or military gear, really. Then we've got the food group here. Fruit, grain, meat turned into food, and horses and our labor. All of these are our main resources. So, it's food processing, warehouse, shipyard. Very simple stuff. This is where we build our merchant fleet or our military fleet. So, every ship has a firepower, a range, an armor, a hull, a speed, and a cargo value. Ship of the line is a military ship. It's not designed for cargo. However, the Indiaman is designed for cargo. It's a larger ship. Also, we have just trader vessels, which are really cheap and can help us with our merchant fleet. We'll get to the merchant fleet in the trade screen, so we're not worried about that. The rail yard, this is where we build more rail cars or whatever to enhance our transportation capacity. Requires steel and lumber and labor. Over here we have the university. This is where we actually train new people to do specialized skills. So if we wanted another engineer, let's say, we could click on engineer and hire another one at the cost of one skilled tradesman, or I think they're experts. I think these are experts and some paper. Oh yeah, experts. We'll get to the labor market in a bit here. The capital, this is where we hire new people or train new people at the cost of food, furniture, and clothing. Gets us another worker? Untrained worker. Then these are the breakdowns of all the industries. This is the steel mill, which requires labor, coal, and iron. And then steel is then turned into either military or hardware or armaments, military gear. And then same thing here. So this is wool, turns wool into the textile or the fabric, and then fabric into shirts. Same thing here. Timber turns into lumber or paper, and then lumber can be turned into furniture. Okay? The last one we have to deal with for now... oh, there's two more, actually. There's the... oh, no, one more. Two more? Yeah, two more. We have the trade school and the armory. Let's do the trade school first. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. This is where we can actually train our workers from untrained to trained, and from trained to expert. This happens at a cost of money and paper. Excuse me there. And right here it actually explains exactly what the labor market does. So, for every untrained worker, they provide 1 labor. For every trained worker, 2 labor. Expert worker, 4 labor. So, the thing is, having a very well-trained labor market means I don't have to feed a huge population to get the work done, right? I can have fewer people being more effective, getting more work done. That's a very plus. That's a very, very good plus. So that's the idea behind that. So right now we're just hiring 2 dudes, 2 untrained workers, because I want to start beefing up my labor market. Let's see here. Is there anything else really in here? Oh, and the armory. Yeah, I don't know why the music keeps changing. Whatever, like, it changes to something, then comes back to this track. That's the one thing I don't know. Anyway, the armory is a lot like the shipyard. There's a cost. In this case, it's a person cost and an armament cost to build certain units. I'm not going to bother going through these in great detail until we start recruiting troops. So it's going to be a while. Speaking of troops, let's go back to the main screen. If we click like this with this flag here, you can see that we've got a residential garrison sitting at our capital. Every single town has just a militia, just a few troops to keep the peace, that kind of a thing. Nothing fancy, nothing really cool. Just something to get the thing going. To get this game started, I would like to train out 2 experts, and I would like 1 engineer. Now, those simple changes really dramatically changed our labor market. Because if you take a look, those guys are being, those trained workers, gosh, I can't get the names right. I always call them, like, the color. Gray, blue, like, what? Gray, blue veteran. Like, I don't even know what I used to call them. Gray, blue expert. But, yeah, I just gotta get to that. But because we're modifying it, these guys are gonna be training all 3 months. Every turn is a 3-month period, or a 4-month? I'll say 3 months. Anyway, I think it's by season, so 3 months. Because they're going to be training, that reduces our labor availability for this turn. So let's see, what are the resources do I have? Well, let's get some steel going on. I think that's really about it. Now, one of the things that we're able to do, you can see that every building has a capacity. I don't know if you noticed that on the way in, but everything when the game starts has 2. This is on easy difficulty, mind you. On normal difficulty, you've got to start completely from scratch. But since I actually beat this on easy, we're going to play this on easy. This game gets a little unstable in the late years as well, so I don't want to... Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. What we can do, since I know there's a lot of lumber around our area, we can spend a little bit of steel and lumber and increase our capacity. This will turn it to capacity 4, which will double it. We don't have to apply any labor to do the upgrade. We just have to pay the materials right out of our inventory, and that's it. Okay? I think that's all that is to it for turn 1 for that. Next is trade orders. This is where we can buy and sell certain products and commodities. This is all based on our merchant fleet of 4. So I believe we can only purchase up to 4 things, which will make this interesting. As we increase our merchant marine, that's going to change. So I believe, I can't remember if it's when you sell stuff, you deliver it, or when you buy stuff, you go get it. I can't remember how it works. But it's one way or the other, and we have a limit of 4. This works out very easily. You click either the right or the left, you can offer. Okay, so it's selling. That was easy. So you sell as much merchant marine as you have. So I'm saying, hey, I want to sell some food. There we go. I can sell however many I want per turn, and there's that. A bid means, hey, if anyone in the world is going to sell this stuff, I want in. Give me some of that. I want in on that. So that's what that is. For the first turn, I don't do anything. So that's trade. The last but not least is give diplomatic orders. This is going to be pretty darn important. What this is going to do is this is going to facilitate our stance against every other nation in the game. Both the greater nations, which are these ones that are colored in. You can see it's got their flag: Zim, Hexaco, Devron, Patagon, and Ordoon. Oh, also, excuse me, can't forget about Deneb. These are all just the greater nations. These are all the minor nations. Right here, you can see a couple of pieces of information with each of them. For the greater nations, how many provinces they control, their military and industry ratings. If it's a minor nation, you can see their most favored trading partner and stuff like that. Now, there's a lot of detail here I almost don't want to go over because we're not going to need a ton of this. What we're going to do right now is I'm just going to set up what are called trade consulates. As the game starts out, the only people I can actually trade with are the greater nations. So the 7 that you see here, 6? The 6 others that you see here, I'm not including myself. What we want to do, though, is there's a lot of little minor nations like these, Zazi, Hershin, Twelt, that also trade products that we want. So I'm just going to, let's see here. Been a while since, here we go. By clicking here, I can see what the major exports are. For example, I don't think we're going to get a lot of steel stuffs in our nation. So I'm going to find 2 or 3 minor nations here that are going to have a bit of extra, so to speak, of the stuff we need. So, for example, here we have coal and iron, which I want. So I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a trade consulate with Hershin. This is going to allow, and I don't know if they do a good job doing stuff here telling you. This was a lot of figure out stuff that I had to do. Yeah, it doesn't really, whatever. So Hershin is what I want. My recommendation is to set up 2 or 3 trade consulates. So we have trade policies with these guys that I want. Who else? The thing is, I want to make sure, how to explain it? It's better to concentrate on 2 or 3 than do the whole world. I can't fight every nation this early. Let's see here. I was hoping to find someone that also did... Oh, they also do lumber. Let's do that. Let's see, will we be okay on lumber? This is where a lot of the planning for the game really comes in. I want to make sure we're going to have enough for... yeah, we'll be fine on lumber. Let's just assume I'm importing just steel. which might bite me in the butt later, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Here. This takes a little bit of... it takes a lot of time to get fuddled around to figure out what's what. Okay, so I got what? Hershin. And Zinlu will be fine. So I want a... Nope, up here. Trade consulate with Zinlu. So what I'm saying is I'm going to pay some money up front. I think it's $500. Yep, $500. And I'm going to say I want to open up the ability to trade with you. Now, Hershin and Zinlu will produce their own products, and it'll make it available for me to purchase. So because I'm going that route, let's go ahead and put a bid on both coal and iron. There we go. Because I'm buying stuff, it doesn't have to go against my merchant marine fleet, so that doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and... preferences. I thought I had the music and sound down low enough. Just when I enter some of the screens, it is in my ear crazy. Okay, we've done everything. All the boxes are now not white anymore, which means we've gone through and at least clicked and acknowledged what the orders are. I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. Nope, I think we're good. Time for a water break, and then we go from there. We'll have another engineer. We'll have a lot of things opening up next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and hit end turn. Oh, excuse me, quick water break there. At the end of every turn, we're going to get either important military news, or we're also going to get this. This is the screen of all of our accounts that were done. If we traded any commodities, they would appear here on the right, but this is what happened. We didn't sell anything, we didn't buy anything. Our military requires $100 of upkeep. We paid out $100 to maintain our military. The bank has a credit limit for us of $500, so we can go negative $500 total cash, and we'll still be okay. After that, the bank starts selling assets, and it's not a good deal. Alright, report. Engineer on duty. Megacycle goes on a consulate spree, which means now I can trade with those two minor nations. What I'm also going to do is we're going to jump right to diplomacy while it's fresh in my mind, and I'm going to give it a 10% subsidy to these two minor nations and a 5% subsidy to every major nation. So that means every transaction they do with me, the major nations get 5% in their favor, whatever that means. If they're buying from me or I'm selling to them, whatever. These two minor nations get a 10% in their favor. Now, the reason why I do that is I really want these minor nations, I want to become their most favored trading partner. That's really going to help out in the long run. I don't know if there's much about that I'm going to explain, because it'll come in more into play later. But for right now, let's just say that's good stuff. Let's see here. I would like a depot right there. So, one engineer moving out, I'll build a depot right there. I'll build a depot here, connect it all via rail. If you do this via sea, you don't have to connect anything via rail. So for example, I could build a port here and a port here, and this could all go out into the ocean and it comes in, no big deal. Check our transit, nothing. Our industry has changed. We've got a few more workers. I'm going to keep that steel going. Let's upgrade the steel. I could do a few more upgrades, actually, but let's get a lot of these more primal things hammered out. And there we go. I've burnt through all my labor. I'm going to hire 2 more workers. See what that's all about. I still want to bid on the raw materials to keep our industry strong. Now, nothing's stopping you from bidding on coal and iron, for example, and then selling steel. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. The thing is, I don't pay for my workforce. I've already paid for them when I hired them, and that's really the brunt of it. There's not much else I need to do about it, so that's a good thing. That actually kind of handles that part of the business pretty well. So the only real upkeep I've got to worry about is military. Now, you might have seen some icons show up here. This is saying, hey, the industry needs more whatever. So, I don't know if anyone's selling lumber, but we could bid on that just to keep stuff rolling. That's good. Already checked diplomacy, end my turn. No one is selling anything, that's fine. Now, new weapon hit with the military. This is just a rocket made of sheet. Iron casing filled with gunpowder. Like, it's not bold, so it doesn't... It's just fun. It's just fun to read stuff. There's nothing important about that at all. Okay, we're finally far away enough from the main city. I'm going to click on my engineer. The only option I have is to build a depot. A depot will provide these resources, and by provide, it means it allows me to add it to my transit network. So we're going to go ahead and build the depot there. This one also has a pretty respectable area. Build a depot there. Lumber is really what I'm looking for right now. To which case, I'm going to not bid on lumber. I'm going to sell my last shirt and my last furniture. I'm also going to start selling some food. That looks good. Transport orders, nothing. Industry orders. Let's see here. I wouldn't mind a couple of ships. Let's see here. I wouldn't mind to add something to my merchant marine. This is cheaper if I go big. That's good. I don't want to go super crazy, but that's a good start. We're out of that. We're out of that. I guess pull it all to food. What we need to keep track of is that we're bringing in enough foodstuffs. So we're not really bringing enough food. When we're bringing in enough, I can start selling food. Actually, it looks like I think I just started offering food anyway. Yeah. So this is hopefully going to give us a little bit of a push. So end turn. We don't negotiate sales. Sales are already figured out at the point of the sale. There's nothing we need to modify. Now, furniture at $8.89 was sold to Pont. I don't have any sort of subsidy with Pont, so it was sold at $8.89. My clothing was worth $9.32, but because the 10% discount, it went to $8.38. Kind of makes sense? I hope it does. Sold, military upkeep, this is how much I made. My credit limit goes higher the more dealing I do, showing that I'm very reputable for credit. An Indiaman, that increases my merchant marine fleet to 8, which is great. Great for 8. A great 8. That's still looking good. I will want to improve my transportation network by another 5. That looks good. Let's start making some clothing and some furniture with some of the stuff that I have. Let's wait on furniture. Actually, I need the lumber for more of that. Let's see here. Yeah, we're kind of shoddy up on resources when the game starts. We don't have a ton of stuff. Now that I have 8, I can now offer 8 every turn, not just the 4. Can I make food? I can't make food. There's really nothing I can do. Let's see here. I have tempted to start up a new subsidy with someone, but I need the money for new docks and stuff. Okay, cool. Here we are. So, offer sheet. Pram offers 1 units of coal at price. Now, this could be adjusted. I believe Pram is a great power, so they have a 5% discount. So I'm going to accept. Bought 1 coal from Pram. Oh, I guess that's it. Okay. Cool. We found iron. Very good. Still nothing yet. Depots will probably be ready next turn. You know what? I wouldn't mind. And let's do this. Upgrade our workforce. Again, the more skilled the workforce, the less workforce I need, which means less food. It makes it all easier. Just everything's easier. Take a quick gander here. You're still making shirts. Very good. I don't have anything else to change, so I'm just going to skip. Coal. Hershin. Good. That's the minor nation. Yeah, this is the minor nation that I set up that trade with. Okay, and you can see it's at whatever per unit, which means a subsidy's in effect. Oh, and coal. Awesome. This is good stuff. Okay, I want you to be right here immediately. Okay, so we have 1 depot that's connected to the network. I'm now going to connect another depot to the network. So if we come over here to transportation orders, you can see that a bunch of stuff has been opened up, like horses and lumber and stuff like this. If the bar is green underneath it, it means I have enough in stock. It's not critical. It's not necessary, but it would be good if we had more. If I drop this all the way to 0, same thing. I still have some wheat in storage. Things aren't bad. If I highlight over it, you can see in the upper right, warehouse 5 needed 5. So this turn I could import 0 if I wanted. I don't want to do that. If it's red underneath, it means I need more than what I'm bringing in. That's what that means. So there's that. New stuff is coming in. It's good because now we are naturally getting our own wood supply. That's pretty awesome. It's actually this is the start of the game that makes it great. Okay, any trade? I'm not really interested in trade. I will sell these shirts because I need more money. And iron. What happens with this game is you sell stuff first. So your dollar amount has already been modified with your sales. Then you purchase stuff, and then upkeep and whatever else comes into play. So it's important to note that if the month changes or the season changes, you look at the very top and you're like, oh no, I don't have any money. That's okay, I'm going to buy a bunch of stuff anyway because I'll sell stuff. That's not the case. You sell first, and then you buy. Okay? Good stuff. Oh, dang, son. Oh, this is off the whatever. This is great. This is great. Okay, I need more paper. I don't think I have enough clout to make paper. I don't. I need more paper so I could train up a miner. I need a miner to do mining things. I think we're good for now. Oh, transport network, any changes? I usually check that kind of often anyway. Buy that up a little bit there. It costs money to do everything, so we got to be really careful as we're doing this. I'm not going to bid on any of that for now. Sell the shirts. Do I have anything? Can I start making food? I can't. Dang, so many things I want to get going on and I can't. I'm going to start turning the steel into weapons. Then I can sell the weapons, at least make a little bit of money. I don't like being this short on cash. Building railroads, mining, surveying, all this stuff costs money. Oh, cool, I sold a bunch of stuff. I will take 4 units of paper. Cool, we connected it to our rail network. Ho, hallelujah. 1, 2, 3, 4, that means 5. Excellent, now we have a sustainable industry. Now, without purchasing a single thing, we can get our lumber market moving, and that's really important. Can I upgrade this again? I can't. Can I upgrade this? I can. Nope. It's gonna do a bunch of upgrades. I can't do anything. Awesome. I need a... Dang it, so expensive. 1,500. I'm done with paper, thank you. I will sell horses. Horses aren't that hot of a commodity, but I'll sell them all the same, or I'll at least try to. Okay, I've got you there. I need something... I don't know, here and here? This is a little sloppy for sure. How about there? I wouldn't mind to get into cotton. Intern. Sold some stuff. Very good. So we're just really getting started with this game. Absolutely just really getting started with the game. I'm gonna wait. I want my miner first. I'm gonna call this here for our very first episode. We'll have a miner and a couple of nice things next turn. And realistically, things are kicking off real nice. I'm really happy with some of the resources we've got. We are going to turn Megacycle into a very prosperous and industrious empire. So thanks for joining me, and I hope to catch you next time.